What's up, Juventus? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to La Vecchia Signora. And unfortunately, today it feels all too familiar with the circles. This carousel Juventus has been on for several years. And yeah, basically, shit is hitting the fan. Shit is hitting the fan at Juventus. The media's running wild with what-if scenarios. We have basically lost control over top four, and everything and everyone is in question, seemingly. And there is a lot to unravel, unpack, and discuss in the aftermath to an embarrassing defeat at home, 2-0. To Fiorentina, and we're gonna tackle it all together. All right, so welcome aboard Skanga and Paulo for what should be a very interesting and potentially fiery discussion. But you know, that nonsense yesterday from this team aside, Skanga, how you doing, man?
Oh, it's good to be back today. It's a long weekend. This is like the official kickoff to summer here in Canada. It's our first real long weekend of the summer. It's going to be 30 degrees Celsius outside. It's going to be a banger. And, you know, I see hard drugs on here. Always remember to take your allergy medication before you do your yard work. Right, Berto?
Hey,
thanks
don't worry, man. I don't need it. I don't need it. I put myself through the misery of picking up 20 pounds of dog shit yesterday, and it actually was better than the game I got up at 3 a.m. to watch. Paulo, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing all right, I guess. It's in the U.S. today here in Texas. It's called Monday. And it's the beginning of 8 months of 100 degrees plus. Let's go.
There you go. There you go. Now, let's not waste any time, okay? One little piece of housekeeping. As always, guys, get the likes up, okay? If you're tuning in on other outlets, get over to YouTube because no matter what these guys put us through, okay, the team that is, we still keep the positivity up. There's kick giveaways, all right, and some for our members, legend status holders, and then one open to all YouTube subscribers every single month. We're going to be having some fun through the World Cup that I'll tell everybody about as we go on. And also one last piece of housekeeping, Adam Khan. Happy birthday, brother. All the best to you, and let's all show him some love on his birthday, okay? Now,
the best birthday present we could give Adam for his birthday was me being on the show today. Now, speaking of World Cup, Berto, I got to remind you before I forget, I still have the ping pong balls from the Euros if we need them.
There you go. You still got Italy on there? Yeah, you could scrap that one. All right.
Anthony, does that gift come with a gift receipt?
So,
no. Okay, never mind.
Now, without further ado, let's get to it. And we're going to rock through this game pretty quickly, everybody, because we got to get to all the unpacking and everything. Starting lineup pretty much as expected the entire way through for quite some time now, especially going down to one competition. Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly, Cambiaso, McKennie, Locatelli, Coat Miners, because Thuram, obviously not fit enough to start, Conceição, Yildiz, and Dusan Vlahovic. A lot of people were bringing up the Coat Miners start, but let's be honest, when you're looking at the midfield without Thuram, you're taking a shot on Coat Miners, you're taking a shot on Medetti, but there were some fair shouts to put McKennie there and play Boga and actually play a 4-2-3-1, which I could understand. I felt like you were going to attack this team aerially since Fiorentina had the most headers conceded in the league at 13 and conceded 20 on set pieces. So I thought Mac, push him forward, get him and Vlahovic in the air. Not a bad strategy to go at these guys. But what ended up happening with Coat Miners and his positioning was actually a major detriment to the middle. But the lineup, it is what it is, right, boys? I mean,
it's more than enough. It should have been more than enough.
It should have been. It should have been. You know? Now let's get to these highlights and just kind of rip through here. You've got 19th minute, Undur, with an awful pass back. Actually right to the feet, in the box to Dusan Vlahovic. Right at De Gea, who comes out and pounces. You pop your collar like fucking John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, you put that fucking thing home.
I didn't get a good look at it. I was trying to run the Twitter. Did he get a good piece of it. It looked like it was out of his reach. Did he get it? I'm asking the question.
Oh, he stopped it and shot.
He stopped and shot. Okay.
He got to it. He got to
yeah.
it, and
Okay.
it was close,
Yeah,
but he got to it.
De Gea's a good keeper. You got it.
That's just one of the signs of composure and the moment probably coming through, and probably what we ultimately saw throughout. 33rd minute, this is just awful start to finish. The majority of this first half, we just never really felt like we had it under control and actually like going at Fiorentina. I talked about Cope Miners, his positioning. This is a perfect example. It's a long ball sent forward out to the left flank, and Cope Miners is the one out there. And he tries to head it into the middle. Yildiz moved inside because Cope Miners has gone out there, and he tries to put it in his path. Like, the fight for this ball was so weak from Kenan Yildiz. And he essentially just turned around to watch these guys run back at us. It all starts there. Cambiasso is in no man's land. The positioning was just a horror show. They come back at us, okay? Nobody picks up Endur until late. It's actually Locatelli and Cope Miners back on that side. And it was just weak from both those guys to give up the space, number one. Cope Miners doesn't close it down. And then you have the shot, and Di Gregorio, this is like right next to you. I have no words. I have no words.
I got words. I've said into this microphone for many years, if you're going to beat a keeper, you put it within 1.5 feet of his feet. It's a tough. He did get a hand on it. I get why people say he should have stopped that. Stick a leg out, whatever. I don't think that's an easier. That's a tougher save than people think because where it was. But I think to your point, Berto, start to finish, the whole thing was a joke.
The whole thing was a mess. I mean, I get it. If you're trying to go down that quick, the problem with him is that now you're seeing the lack of anticipation. Like, that wasn't a ripper by any means. It wasn't a ripper. And it's just like, he's never prepared. Like, these ones as of late, since the spiral has really hit, because for the majority, there has, like, a lot of the goals that have been rifled at him, I've kind of been like, okay, on the fence, like, it's not as big a deal as people make. This one yesterday is like, and for quite some time now since the spiral hit, just no anticipation, flat-footed so often.
Yeah, okay. And I'm not going to, the whole we've given up 16 goals on the first shot. I'd like someone to put the compilation together to see how much his defensive screwed up, and he's taking shots from 7 yards out as the first shot on goal.
Yeah, there's some bad ones, but I mean, you see the other one where we had to draw with Verona, and it's like right there, and it's just I don't know. It just adds to it. 14 out of 16 on the first shot or something. Again, it's just the same old story for us. But you're right. It all starts up above with just brutal decision making. We talked about the position, all this. Anyways, you're 1-0 down now, 33rd minute. No
problem. Lots of time left, Berto. Tons of time left.
I'm going to get to this later on when we talk about this player or these players. We just talk about this team, etc. But the vibes, the feelings, everything being off. 40th minute, Yildiz cuts to his right, takes a shot, stopped by De Gea. The first time in 40 minutes that you actually see Yildiz look engaged, switched on, like for something. 45th minute, Digre has to make a good save here on Harrison when he cuts back to his left foot and he goes back poster. That's actually a good stop from him. The shitty thing is he usually needs to concede before he makes these types of saves because 16 or whatever go in on the first shot. So that was a big one. You go down 2-0, you're dead in the water. In the water for the second half. We get to the second half. The change that was made was literally what myself and a ton of us were calling on the watch along. Get Cope Miners out of that game. I thought there was no midfield control. His positioning, his interpretation of playing a pivot next to Locatelli was garbage. Get Cope Miners out, bring Boga in, move Yildiz central. That's the exact change we got. I agreed with it wholeheartedly. Paulo, was that a change you were looking at?
Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah.
I got a whole issue with the 2 pivot thing, but we'll save that for later. But yeah, that made sense.
Now, that's exactly the change that happened. We get to the second half highlights. 54th minute, Chico to Vlahovic, who does shoot it towards goal. It's blocked, goes to the back post. Boga hits it, doesn't get a whole lot on it, and it is right at De Gea from in close. He just punches it away. 58th minute, Yield is driving at Fiorentina, beats the first man, dishes it for Conceição. He fires it low and hard. This is a ripper, and this is very similar to what Di Gregorio faced when he tried to go down with it, and this one had way more heat on it. Way more heat on it.
It was a tighter angle. He only had the inside post to shoot at. And that was a good save, though. Still a good save.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't flat-footed. And fucking just used his leg. Kicked it away. It was right at his legs, right in there, in tight. He's making saves. Usually these other goalkeepers, the list goes on. Falcone, Montipo, whatever. They're making saves. Our guys have it. And you know what? I will put Perin in there too, because he was guilty a few times. It's not, or goalkeeping, it is what it is. We don't score there. 60th minute, we do score. McKennie, back post header, called back. Barely any contact. Gosens flies like Superman. Now,
getting called every goddamn time.
Listen.
Time.
We do pull in the AJC arbitro to look at this. On this play, you need to decide if McKennie's arm on the back of the defender is enough to be a foul. The only consideration in favor of a foul is that Gosens had position. However, Gosens definitely sells his contact after he knows he is beat in the air. Unfortunately, this is a very subjective play that the referee needs to decide on the field. Once a foul is called, it's very hard for VAR to do anything where there is contact because it's not clear and obvious error. However, so many times this year, VAR has overstepped on plays that are not clear and obvious errors. Why not this time? It would be fine not letting this go to VAR if there was some consistency with it this season. And we also, as Juventini, don't need to think too far back when Sergei Milinkovic-Savic did the same to Alexandro, actually far worse with a two-hand shove, and we got no call. And we all remember what happened there. Listen, the other thing I have an issue with here, if you look this goal back, Massa is so fucking far away from this play and the way that Gosens goes flying. Why not have the discussion? Hey guys, can you check that for me? And I'll tell you another thing that pissed me off with it. The situation, the moment, the game that we're in, what it means, we simply accepted it as a team. Do you think that any other team would have let it go by so lightly, seemingly unfazed by it, unbothered?
Champions League on the line. Like what? Why are we not swarming that referee? Okay, that's two questions. The first one is that foul gets called every time. He had his arm cocked like that. Any sort of extension of the arm, the ref's going to call it. Did he sell it? Yes, I get all that, but that's going to get called every time. But to your point, why didn't we do the old Real Madrid swarming of the referee?
That ref is so fucking far away. He didn't see shit. He didn't see shit except that guy flying. Didn't talk to his lines. There was no arm extension. He's got it on for support. There's nothing there. It's minimal. The second Gosens feels it, he goes flying. We let it go. No other team would have done that. No other team would have done that. Nonetheless, we're nice guys. Where do nice guys finish? Outside of fucking Champions League. Listen, we keep it moving.
1 second. I know that Bremer's missing next week because of yellow accumulations. Was McKennie the other one who would miss next week? There was somebody else. Maybe it's Locatelli. Maybe that's why.
Loca. It's not. Yeah, I don't think it's Mac. Now, 70th minute. Here you go. Yildiz ball. Cross the face of goal. Kalulu gets it. Dishes it to Zhigrova, who would come on for Chico Conceição. Shoots it. Falls to Vlahovic. Taps it home. 1-1. Okay, now you could push for the win. Not so fast. VAR steps in. Offside. This one, left a lot of confusion because Massa walked over to the screen. So essentially, they've changed this rule not long ago. And just to clarify for everybody, again, from the arbitral, lots of confusion on this. One, as this type of offside doesn't happen often. Dusan is offside on the shot. The laws of the game were recently changed because people were saying you have to take it from the player's deflection off the Fiorentina player. But that's where it is. That's where the issue lies, okay? Laws of the game were recently changed in a way that gave defenders a big advantage. Merely a deflection off a defender no longer negates an offside. The touch on the ball needs to be deliberate. The player has to have time to make a coordinated play on the ball. So blocking a shot, clearly defined as a deflection, will be the correct decision on this play. And since it wasn't just a simple offside where a player directly receives the ball, that's why Massa goes and has a look on the monitor, which was funny anyways because you could tell it's a shot block. Mm-hmm. So it ends up being the right call. Offside.
And I put this one on Dusan too. You're at the back post. You can see where the line is. You can see where those three defenders
I'm with you.
Stay outside, big dumb idiot.
It was like that one was it the last game when we're trying to kill that team off? And I'm like, you're staring up the line of the defense. Those are the ones I have a major issue with. We're going to get to old Dusan. 82nd minute, a cross in from Fiorentina, headed away by the substitute Gatti, right to Mandragora. That's one hell of a hit. Hell of a hit, and that killed us. And you know what? I'd fucking love it for us to be able to shoot from there, but we want to pass it up. We want to just dance it right into the fucking net. Mm-hmm. Anyways, it ends there. Well, not before the boos and the jeers rain down on the team. And to be honest, zero fucking sympathy from me. Zero sympathy from me. When your Champions League fate is on the line, you enter it with 75%. You leave from third place in sixth and 15% shot of making it in. That's on you guys. Every single fucking one of you. Bullshit.
So chance. 15%. Still a chance.
Infuriating. Now, let's unpack everything. We'll unpack everything. I'm going to hit you guys with just the numbers and your ratings, whatever, just because it's customary, all right? But the stats, 56% possession in favor of Juve, 26 total attempts to 10 from Fiorentina. They don't have any big chances. We only have one, and it was that pass that Endur gave to us in the box in the 19th minute. In terms of ratings, this was the ratings that the players come away with. Di Gregorio 6.7, Kalulu 6.4, Bremer 7, Kelly 6.4, Cambiaso 6.7. How in the fuck Loca at 8.4? Nobody in this game touches higher than 6. You start with 6. All I saw was 6s across the board. I don't even need to finish the rest of the ratings. I don't know what the fuck these guys watch.
I thought Locatelli had a good game though.
Who?
I thought Locatelli had a good game.
I thought nobody on this team had a good game.
I wouldn't say an 8.4, but
I don't think anybody touches 6.5 in this game. I think it was brutal. I think Thuram came in and looked like absolute garbage. I think Zhigrova did much of nothing, had a shot block. That was the best thing he added. I think Boga looked lively, was the only one looking lively, to be honest. I think Yildiz looked better in the second half, but it was awful. It was awful. Lloyd Kelly looked brain dead on the ball every single time he had it. And it was no surprise to me. Spalletti took him off, but the change doesn't affect anything as Gatti comes off the bench. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. We'll start off by talking about some of the words that have been said. Spalletti, first off, starts things off. I wouldn't call it a failure. We're in the Europa League.
Oh, my God. Did he really say that? No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. But Juve have to aim for the Champions League. No, Luciano, stay consistent with what you said when you first came here. This is the part of the script, everybody, where everybody flips. Where everybody flips and tries to, piss in your cup and tell you it's apple juice. Listen, the aim is not Champions League. That's bare fucking minimum. That is bare fucking minimum. The aim is trophies. Stay consistent, Luciano, okay? And don't tell us it's not a failure. It is a failure. But he adds this: we have to respond to the pressure. Today we didn't perform at our level, and I'm the first person responsible. Locatelli also added that maybe, obviously, clearly, we weren't able to overcome the pressure. We lack personality. We were extremely disappointed and bitter. It's hard to find the words. There's little to say today. We played a terrible match. This is one of the statements coming in the aftermath from this game that I saw out there. Juventus don't fear failure anymore. I ask both of you in the aftermath of this, is it simply the pressure? Because I'm not sure anymore. Do you feel Juventus don't fear failure anymore? Like, what are your thoughts? What's your takeaway on this and some of these words immediately after? Let's start with Paolo.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Oh, gosh, what a day. I have a bunch of notes from yesterday. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm hopefully going to see something that helps answer that question. For me, the big problem is they can't execute. I've said all year long, and I am disappointed to still believe it, and that is that we don't have enough good players to start. We don't have a good bench. We can't execute. Whatever Spalletti's trying to do, thinks the players thinks they can execute. We've seen the decisions he's made with players, and when he's fed up with a player and benches him for good, when he brings guys like Coop Miners on again. No matter who it is, there's little faith, I think, in the roster, and we cannot execute. We can have the ball, we can take shots, we can miss the net, we can pass around the box without purpose. We can't execute. These players are not good enough to execute. That's the problem. Now, as far as Spalletti's words, he got a contract when he should have not been given a contract until he secured the Champions League, but we had a good spell. And hey, let's sign McKennie, let's sign Duchamp, let's sign Spalletti, let's get these guys going. He needs to not say things like that. He needs to find a way to relate to the fans and take the blame with his team for not executing what they at least should, which is securing Champions League. So it's a failure all over the place. But the main problem goes back to we do not have the players to execute, assuming the execution of the plan was good to start with. They're not good enough. That's it.
That's Ganga. What do you think about the words, this overcoming pressure?
I think this might be a good time to talk about this when we were talking about it in the green room. In terms of fans, there's some fans out there that are furious, and then there's some fans out there. Justin brought up AJC member, team member. He said he's disconnected. I feel disconnected. So those words don't really mean anything to me. Like I should be mad at them, I guess, but to Paulo's point, should he have been given a contract? There's a lot of stuff that I feel disconnected. I don't feel anything as to what he just said there. I disagree with it. He probably shouldn't have said it, but I feel disconnected. I think that's a problem that's sort of infiltrating this fan base now, and you see it here in the chat. Some are furious, but a lot more disconnected, and that's not good.
This pressure thing that, Locatelli and Spalletti were the only ones to talk yesterday, by the way, everybody. So the words come from them. I'm not so sure anymore, with this whole pressure thing. I'm really not, because how does that explain earlier on in the season? And these are teams we dropped points to earlier on in the season too, when the pressure and the stakes weren't as high as they were yesterday. And you still fall short. There's shortcomings all over the place. The pressure remains the same of just simply playing for Juve. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just change all of a sudden yesterday. But what's alarming about yesterday is that it comes down to crunch time. And in some of those games where you drop points earlier in the season, you actually put forth an effort that was considered valiant. Yesterday, what I saw was completely unacceptable, and it never once felt to me like we were playing for Champions League simultaneously with 4 other clubs all vying for that spot. I never once got that feeling. That's the part that really sticks to me, that I don't want to hear shit about pressure, because you did it before. And for whatever reason yesterday, you guys lay an egg and shit your pants. I'm not so sure it's pressure anymore. And I'm still stuck on the fact that this, and we'll get to the players. Believe me, we'll get to the players. But for me, the biggest detriment is still experience on this team, star power, and I think that's the biggest killer this season, because they've shown they can play solid football. They've shown they can do that. What they have shown is that they can hold absolutely zero consistency amongst themselves as a group. That's why experience, to me, kicks in, and it matters, because when you have the experienced guys, I'm talking true leaders, they don't allow that level to drop. They don't allow a situation like yesterday to unfold where you're playing for essentially everything. And that's the performance you come out with. Weak ass 50-50s, not getting stuck in, not really seemingly fighting. We talked about that first goal long before it gets to Di Gregorio. I watch us compete like fucking pool noodles for that ball, even though Cope Miners put a bad header in there. It's fucking piss poor. That's the part that's alarming, and I don't want to hear about pressure. There's something bigger. For me, the biggest detriment is the lack of true experience and leadership and some star power. And the scary part is now, what does this do for the Mercato? But first, we got to keep it going, because Spalletti added more. During this week, I'll speak with John Elkann. Above it all will be an analysis of myself rather than the players. I have to offer something more than what was shown today. He is also tied in to that performance, to the lack of motivation, to the lack of drive. He's tied into several other things. This was taken kind of cryptic, and it did seem kind of cryptic. Today, the report suggests he is not resigning. He is going to speak with Elkann, because the media is painting a picture of a divide between Comolli and Spalletti, and that Spalletti and Chiellini are in unison, and that Elkann has faith in Spalletti. But that is kind of what we're hearing. But the fan base, a lot of lost faith in Spalletti. And I'm going to ask you two the question, should Juventus continue with Spalletti? We did have the renewal. Your thoughts on Spalletti and moving forward. There are some that say you can absolutely not blame Spalletti, and this is on the players, the same guys that have failed 3 managers previously in a short period of time. So should we continue? We're going to start here with Skanga.
I'll start, because I know Paulo, his head's about to pop right off. he's pulling a lot in. You crazy son of a bitch over there. I see that. Okay. We have to stop the carousel. Fucking pick a general manager, pick a coach. You need it. We've said this a lot here, Berto. You need at least 2 transfer windows. If you're going to get rid of Comolli, get rid of Comolli, or Spalletti. But you got to show some sort of consistency somewhere with one of those 2 positions. I'm okay keeping Spalletti, because this isn't his team. He didn't pick any of these players. He came in, and this is the roster he was given. So in fairness, should he not get a Mercato to decide which players he can bring in fairness? So I would swing it back to Comolli. But also, Comolli, he technically didn't start until July, August last year? And he made that Openda purchase, really. So should he not get another summer? Like, are we giving these guys a fair shake? I get the arguments of, are they good enough? This and that. But are we really giving them a fair shake?
We'll get to Comolli after. Right now, we want to focus on Spalletti. So, yeah, I get your thoughts. And now we're going to get Paolo's and continue with Spalletti.
Yeah, he's made a few mistakes in his tenure so far. We've kind of seen them. We've called them out at the time. He's been really stubborn with players that he has little faith with. He gives them a chance or 2, and then he benches them. Mm-hmm. Our goals against has actually been pretty reliable, considering we were talking about we need a center back more than life. And we've moved forward a lot, and he's done a lot to try and get players forward. more of them all game. So I don't really see him as the problem. And he says some silly philosophical things that are really kind of frustrating and annoying. But I don't really think he's the problem right now. I think he's identifying a real issue with the roster. And I don't think he's going to... firing him solves nothing. Keeping him makes more sense. And maybe he can do more with a better roster.
Yeah. For me, number one, to those that say Spalletti is not to blame, I actually call bullshit. Because I say everybody has their part in this, and he definitely has to blame because we've seen some of these issues creeping up. And I think that 7 clean sheets in the past 9 matches mask the fact that you've only scored 9 in those 9 games, and the attack has been gradually getting weaker, and it's no surprise Yildiz has had next to nothing for impact through those games. I have issues with Spalletti through this period of time because we weren't humming and we were 1 game a week. You know, like certain things looked better, but other things didn't. In some of those games, yeah, you generated a lot of chances, but in some of those games, you pissed away an entire first half of football, kind of like we did yesterday. The 3-4-2-1 hybrid shit should have been dead a while ago. 4-2-3-1, called it going into this game. I say play it as a straight up 4-2-3-1, put them under and attack. And the thing with Yildiz, if you want to put it down to a knee inflammation thing, whatever, even Thuram playing through some of those games, you're down to 1 game a week. I don't want to fucking hear about guys playing through injuries. Like, especially when you're looking at Yildiz, where you've had Boga, who has actually contributed very well and strongly since he's joined the team. Yildiz is arguably the one where you have a legit option that you don't need to play him in a situation like that if he's going through something where he can't be 100%. And he hasn't looked 100% through those 7-8 games that he struggled. He hasn't had a goal since March 21st or something. But there's been warning signs there, and he hasn't adapted, hasn't reacted. And another thing is, has it gotten better with Vlahovic since this is the big thing that you're putting on, and you kept saying in the media, striker, get me a real striker. We need to. Adamant about renewing Dusan Vlahovic. I'm not so sure it's much better in the grand scheme of things as far as the team play goes and how they play as a unit and how they generate together. So I don't know. I think he's got questions there. I think there's certain things he could have done better. Now, I'm not willing to say we should not be continuing with him despite those things, because he has brought, again, 7 clean sheets out of the last 9. We're right there. Why are we falling short? I go back to what I said just a little bit ago. Lack of experience and lack of star power is the biggest detriment to this team. If I truly believe that, I can't go all in on another coach. I just can't. So for me, you continue with Spalletti, you work with him. And it's incredibly disheartening to hear that Comolli has had something with Spalletti, and that if there is truth to that, it's us going down that same old road. So you know what? Cut the damn cord. If it has to be Comolli, then it has to be. And we're going to get to that. Because, you know, The Office, what happens in there? There's rumors about all of them being evaluated. Chiellini, Comolli, Modesto. What do you do in The Office if you're in charge? Like, Paulo, who needs to stay, who needs to go in The Office?
That's a big question, Bert.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think, well, me and you've always said, roll. Well, through the good and bad, me and you've always said that Elkann needs help. And Elkann is the guy who ultimately needs to hold responsibility for whatever happens. I think Elkann cares about the team. I think he loves the team. I think his style of management is distant. And I think he goes to the games, but he doesn't necessarily invest the same kind of passion and determination in the team like Andrea did. So I think he needs help. I think he needs somebody who is more experienced, a little ruthless, got more fire. I think Giuntoli could have maybe been the guy, obviously wasn't, and he had way too much control and he blew it. Is Comolli the guy? I don't think Comolli's very good either. So I think something has to happen at the highest level with Elkann to get his hands around this and his head around this. And if he can't be the guy, he needs help. He needs his cousin in or something, because he needs help to reset or to make the adjustments needed as soon as possible. Because I think Comolli's an idiot, and I don't know the office. I don't know the scouting. I don't know. We got a new trainer guy. We got Perrin as an assistant coach being an idiot. Like, there's so many things wrong with this club right now.
I actually think Darren Burgess has done okay from the physical side.
Great, but he's not president. So we got Ferraro the idiot. So there's so many things wrong. You could blow it all up, but it has to start with Elkann getting help and get his head and his hands around this, because there's issues everywhere throughout.
Skanga, who needs to stay? Who needs to go?
You gotta bring Gentili back. I know people didn't like Gentili.
Easy.
Like, what are we talking about?
So this is Skanga just pouring that kerosene on that bad boy. Let's go. Listen.
We need to give him another summer. Anyways, I'm with Paulo here. I don't know the inner workings. I know that one guy keeps sleeping, Ferraro. I don't see what value he adds. I can't see Modesto or Chiellini leaving. Like, what? Why? They're your technical experts and financial. So, but Comolli,
There's not enough of a light being shone on Johnny Elkann. Said it a while ago that whatever happens, whatever goes down with this management, now that you've got a team in here, which the last guy did not have the benefactor of, we got to look to Elkann, because Comolli's got this team built around him, whatever. People can say anything they want about that last Mercado. It was a disaster. It was a nightmare. We come out looking like a clown show, not operating like a big team. You want to operate like a big team, you have to get real fucking people involved. So Elkann, yeah, the eyes have been on you for quite some time. Comolli, see you later. Out. Should have never been promoted. And I said it, when you're set up as a CEO, based on what? Yeah. What on earth did he do to come in and in 1 month be promoted to CEO? People want to bring that up as the same reason why Spalletti shouldn't have been renewed. No, because at some point you need to shut down this bullshit and put the onus on the players. So the Spalletti renewal I have no problem with, because he actually got these guys to play somewhat united and the results were coming, but they faded. Again, why? If you look at this roster and tell me there isn't gaps in the starting 11 and we don't have the worst depth that we've arguably ever had, I call bullshit. So Spalletti I'm fine with, and it's not tied to this. Comolli should have never been promoted to CEO based on absolutely doing nothing. And it's one of the things wrong with Juve since Elkann has taken over, since the board got dismantled, is that people do nothing and get rewarded. And he is a prime example of it. Modesto, his position doesn't even fucking matter. I'm not sure he does anything other than get Comolli's fucking coffee and maybe tickle his end sack once in a while. So fuck off.
It was the same as Nedved. Nedved was
both of them can fucking be out the door. Spalletti can stay. Or Spalletti could stay, Chiellini could stay, and Ottolini can stay. All right? But this is what Juve needs to do, and like now. Ferraro, you are free to take as many fucking naps as you like, okay? Because you can fuck off. There's the door. Elkann, do the right thing. Stop cheaping out. I don't give a fuck if you've had to inject $900 million over so many years. Guess what? You want to get it right, get the right people in. Go and get a proper president with an actual vision that actually understands how to build something, because you can't fucking build a football team. And that's evident, okay? You have no idea what you're doing and you're cheaping out at the major positions. Get me a proper president and start there. Let him or a pairing get their guys in and move there. And the first guys that should be on the line, and I don't want to hear about money, are Platini and Del Piero. And people will say they don't want to come here. Fuck it. Money talks. This is what Elkann needs to do. Here are the keys to the house. I'm moving out. It's your baby. You're in power, not me. And people want to talk about the 9-year run we went on, and it was his hiring. Guess what? That hiring was served up on a platter. It was your cousin. It was Andrea Agnelli, and he loved the club more than anything, and he grew up around it, and he knew everything about it inside and out. You are bringing in people that know nothing about it. It means nothing to them, and they are cheap. You hired Comolli from a fucking agency, okay? You hired him from a fucking agency. A cold call. Hey, you want to run Juve? Cool, we're looking. Fuck that, okay? And get me a proper president now. And Elkann, go fucking keep fucking up Ferrari or do whatever the hell you want to fuck up. Leave this club alone.
I think you're absolutely right, Bert. Well put. And the thing is, there's also a whole political side to this job. Like, whoever's going to be Elkann or the president or whomever, they have to play the politics of this old boys club, which is Serie A, which is the Italian Federation, which is all those assholes who are old and stodgy and take care of each other. You need somebody who can play that and who can carry the Juve weight and punch at that level and even the playing field, or start fucking with them. So you need somebody who's going to do that. Comolli, remember when he was putting together a team and I made a joke because it was taking so fucking long? I was saying, well, who's going to be this? Who's going to be that? And I said, oh, Comolli's found a guy. It's Comolli. He took forever to find positions for people who would work under him and didn't actually hire anybody and seemed to give himself the job. So here's a guy who's been literally just sucking up power on the board. And for what? And who is he? And like you said, he got a call, he applied, and next thing you know, he's got a job. Who the fuck is this guy? Why is he running Juve? Where did he come from? What's his experience? How has he proven himself? Instead, he's just gained more and more power. And here we are with a bunch of shit players on the field that don't know what to do and a coach who's ready to throw himself off a bridge.
Yeah. No, Comolli can go. Modesto can go. The rest can stay, and you build from there. And I'll tell you why you can't blow it up. For people that are saying everybody. Yesterday, they were saying everybody. Chiellini, fucking all of them gone. Do you know what that does to your mercato? It makes you look even more Mickey Mouse. You have to, and this is why today what should have happened is there should have been some type of statement. But again, Elkann is MIA. But there needed to be some type of statement made. That's just like, positions will be assessed, but there will be continuity. We have a plan moving forward. We obviously understand the situation of yesterday and what happened and the weight of it and what it means in the future. We will be prepared to address things as they need to be come season's end. We have one more match to focus on, and let's see where the chips fall. But some type of stability shown. And through these positions, you have to show stability. If you wipe the slate clean completely with everybody, and then you're going out trying to land players, this is going to be like, holy shit, Spalletti's gone too. I'm going to sign for Juve and am I going to be playing for like 3 different guys? Who am I playing for? Like, what's the plan here? You have to lock in on some stability. And this is another reason why Elkann just can't be calling the shots, because it's all over the place. And he is tied to each of these firings. He is tied to them. They are your guys. They are your fucking guys. And Ferraro just gets to sleep in the stands. No, this is wrong on so many fucking levels. And it starts at the top for me and it bleeds down. When you want to talk about culture, I could tell you what, I obviously wasn't there, but I can guarantee you that pre-match yesterday, probably fuck all happened from a Juve brass. Probably fuck all happened. Well, there was no big meeting. There was no discussion. There was no explaining the moment and just like go out there and give 150% and that's all that matters. Leave it all out there. There probably was nothing. Back in the day, you would have had a phone call the night before to key players. You would have had, hey, I want to see you there early. We'll talk, we'll meet, everything. Like, now there's just nothing. It's just dead. It's absolutely dead. I can guarantee you There was nothing of that sort of variety, and you probably get that flat-ass performance like you did yesterday. It's nonsense. Now, the Mercato talked about it. You can't just clean house. What does this mean for the Mercato with the fact that we could most likely be out of Champions League? Well, in terms of targets, I got to say, Grimaldo and Silva are definitely out. Definitely out, those two. Kim Min-jae and Alisson, I could probably see still being there for Juve. But Grimaldo, Bernardo Silva, gone. Your only hope is to splash big time and just say, hey, blank check, like, hey, come help us, dig us out of that. I don't see it happening. That's your only shot. And when you talk financially about what could go down, there's a big difference in revenue, because some people are saying, well, Europa League, and I know obviously Moji said, Europa League is to the level of these Juventus players, etc. Look, financially speaking, there's a big difference. I mean, you've got 20 million for qualification to Champions League versus 4.7 for Europa League. In terms of each win, 2.3 million in Champions League for each win versus like 400K. It's a big chunk of money that you lose out on.
It's half. Yeah, it's basically half. Even if you win the Europa League, I think the most you can top out at is like 40 or 50 million.
It's like significantly less than half. Yeah. I think on average we've been taking 100 mil, like close to 100 mil in a Champions League season, and that's just finishing where we have been. So another injection coming from Elkann, but again, I've said it. You can't cheap out at the positions that matter. Control what you can. We all know that you have to spend. You're going to have to sell now to spend, and you are running tight. Spend the money on those positions that don't affect those operating costs and everything, and get the right guys in. You can't cheap out there, because fans have been patient, man. Mm-hmm. We've been patient throughout this period. The COVID fiasco, the loss of revenue there, the weak mercatos. Okay, we're building up to getting back to signing star talent. And I think this is why it's extremely frustrating, is because now you are at this point where you're so damn close and you're about to falter again, and it's going to push you back because of the loss in revenue. And now you're talking about key guys having to be moved. And now, I mean, we'll talk about the players. I heard yesterday everybody say everybody should be out, clean house, and people are saying all players up for grabs, even Kenan Yildiz.
Yeah, so that was one of my questions. There was a lot of people saying that.
Oh yeah,
like is there anybody on this roster? And I won't fault people for saying no. Is there anybody on this roster that you would say that you'd be upset that they got sold? A lot of people say Yield, but I think it's getting to a point where, sell whoever.
I'm at the point I have no attachments to any of these guys anymore. Yep. Like I don't. I'll be quite honest. But here's my caveat. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna move a key player, you absolutely cannot sell on the basis of we're selling him, let's see. No. The replacement has to be equal or better. Equal at bare minimum or better. So to sell Yildiz, who the hell are you going out and getting with that money? And I say this, keep in mind, where is our level of appeal at the moment? So I agree with the sentiment that I'd listen to offers on everybody to upgrade the team, but where's your appeal level at? So selling Yildiz to get the Timu version of Nico Paz, who's actually called Pico Naz, isn't going to fucking work. So
I think it's hilarious that they think he's going to stay there next year.
My thing is this. This is why I go back to getting the right president and getting the right people involved, because that helps counteract where your appeal level is at right now. If you're telling me, and for everybody, there's a big group in this fan base. When I said the first calls should be Platini and Del Piero, people said, what has Del Piero done to actually deserve to be running Juventus? Listen. This guy.
More than enough.
I will tell you right now, coaches will take you seriously. Players that you're looking at will take you seriously a hell of a lot more if the call's coming from him versus Damien Comolli. That sounds like he's got peanut butter on the roof of his fucking mouth. Okay? Guaranteed.
Smooth.
Guaranteed.
And you know Del Piero's phone's going to be ringing, right? A guy like him has a job. Hey, Del Piero, I'm a really big position, name, title, and I'd love to work with you in Juve. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Come talk to me. His phone will be off the hook. You get a call from Del Piero. Yeah, can you help me with this? I have a project at Juve. Oh, for sure. Let's talk. I mean, he's going to get guys. He's got a great glasses wear company, by the way. His glasses are beautiful. He looks like $1 million. I want a statue of this guy everywhere I go. He's run businesses. He's a smart he's not young man, but he's a smart guy. He's going to get the right people in place. He's going to have the right contacts. His phone's going to be off the hook. He will figure it out. And he happens to be a legend. He'll figure it out.
And when you want to talk about fighting the fight, it's what I love Nedved for. It didn't matter what network, where he was brought on. He called the bullshit out. I don't know if people have been paying attention to Del Piero on these networks, but he fights the fight. He fights the fucking fight. And he does so in an elegant fashion, an elegant manner where it's all class. He is Juve the old school. And I'm telling you, Platini and Del Piero should be on the horn right now if you're serious, elkann. Right now, blank checks and keys to the house. Go fuck off and do whatever it is you do, Johnny. But get those guys in. Because I'm telling you, you have to counteract this appeal damage that Juve has suffered. Because it has. It's been suffering for years now with all the disarray. That's why Skanga makes a great point about stability and showing some type of continuity with somebody. You got to do something, man. You got to counteract it.
Somebody in the chat goes, does Del Piero even want it? And maybe he doesn't. But elkann has to find a way to talk to him and people like him and get them involved somehow. That's his job, right? I was watching the game before it started. They were going through the stadium and there's all these beautiful fans, like families, lots of women, men, a really fantastic audience, a beautiful audience, ready to cheer on their team. And they had the game they had and they lost 2-0. elkann has to do something. Enough.
Now
we're done.
Here's a scenario. Here's a hypothetical, because Agnelli back ASAP. This has been a hot one for so long because it always felt like he was eventually going to attempt to come back. There's a lot of rumors around him trying to work with other partnerships to buy Juventus, etc. Would you rather, chat, and you guys, of course, go a route of approaching Del Piero with everything you have and Platini, etc., or would you bring back Agnelli if you had the option?
Agnelli 10 times over.
Really?
Yes. He's played the game. Paul put it so elegantly. He put it nicely. He knows the old boys club. You got to play the game. And Agnelli's done it. I think Del Piero would do good. I think he would. But he's got so much going on. He lives in California. He works in New York. Like, he's got so much other shit going on. Why would he want to deal with all these idiot dinosaurs in the city? Yeah, why would you want to deal with that shit? Agnelli, come back in and burn the whole son of a bitch down. And he knows how to do it.
Paolo.
I'd say get them all in. Like, find a role for Agnelli to be involved. Get Del Piero in there. Give him a lot of money. Give him a jet to and from Turin and Los Angeles, whatever. Get these guys involved and show that you're putting together a leadership team at the highest level to support elkann and make guys like Comolli shake in their boots.
I don't think
make
Del
them
Piero
all
will
accountable
come with Agnelli there. It's one or
no,
the...
Okay,
won't-
then
he
Elkann
won't
has
do it.
to outline why it's not one or the other, and why
Del
they
Piero
can't coexist.
would, if Del Piero does it, and I find like it's anybody's guess as to why he hasn't come, but maybe he hasn't even fucking been offered it. Like
I don't
maybe
think
he
so.
hasn't even been
hasn't.
offered it. So
He said in an interview before a year and a half ago. He said in an interview, "If they call me, I'd accept the call." He said that.
3 months ago he said, "We'll see. You never know what'll happen, etc." But yeah, if they call, he wants it to be his bait. He doesn't want to come in and have to answer to these Mickey Mouse fucking guys like Ferraro or whatever. And why would he? Why would Del Piero come in and fucking take orders from Nappy over there? Well, why would he? Like, why would he? I don't think you're going to have it all, though. I don't think you'll have Agnelli and something like that. So it's either something new or you go back to Agnelli. And for me, it's like that return. I have major PTSD with returns, trying to recreate the past, etc. That's what scares me about Agnelli, although I love Andrea Agnelli. I will always hold him of the highest esteem based on everything he did for us. The ending was ugly, sure, but he also created a lot of enemies. And right now, I think that the ugly side of things and how things are going are right there in front of all of our eyes, and they just keep trying to sweep it under the rug. I also don't know if Agnelli could be as strong as he once was now that the other crooks have gained even more power and status through the bullshit. And that's my major thing with Agnelli and why I'd be on the horn for Platini and Del Piero as a partnership like today. It's crazy. Now players, Yildiz, etc., performances, man. I don't know. It's unfortunate. I feel like it's very prisoner of the moment-esque when we just take the guys that have been good, these guys, and just say fucking scrap them all, whatever. Yesterday was super emotional and obviously created a lot of anger in us. I still think you need to pump the brakes, dial things back a bit, and still look at the situation. Because even a simple statement like Luciano Moggi's where Europa League is to the level of these Juve players, I would twist it a bit. And I would say that Europa League is probably the level of this team. Because when you just say that the individuals are no good, you have to scrap them all. No, you have to build a team. This team has gaps. We have traits and certain players we don't even have. You don't have a true link from midfield to attack. You don't have that. We want Yildiz to be that. Yildiz wants to be a left winger. So you don't have that. You don't have another strong CB next to Bremer, and unfortunately Bremer is on a little bit of a decline. You don't have a solid fullback that you need. I think Kalulu's been the most solid across the back for the entire season. He just doesn't get beat. His back post coverage, a little sketchy. I'll take that because I think Kalulu's been the most solid. And when you talk about going through a very critical stretch with the highest paid player on your team, I don't care about his age, but Yildiz just being a no-show, I still go back to star power. You only have 2 stars. We're talking about one regressing. The other one's 19, 20, and still has growing to do before I consider him a elite level star player. You have no star power on this team. So you want to say that these players, this is the level for them? No, this is the level for this team. It's why I've said in the window, you need to find your starting 11 solutions. And if some of these guys move to bench options, I'd be happy with them because we have a roster made up of rotational players for the most part. Lloyd Kelly, for me, is not a starter on a Juventus A side.
No.
Weston McKennie, I love the guy. He's a utility player. He's a jack of all trades, master of none. Kefren Turam is not ready to be the main pivot next to Locatelli, and he's shown that. 1 good game out of 9, it ain't it. He's got high potential, but that's not it. You need to upgrade. Cope Miners has disappeared. Openda's done nothing. Jonathan David hasn't worked out. Vlahovic. Now we're going to get to Dusan Vlahovic. Everybody, I'm going to say it right now. I was wrong. I was wrong. I am wrong. The situation at striker is so ugly in the fact that we could say goodbye to all of these guys, and rightfully so, that it scared me. It scared me into thinking that we should be approaching this guy. No. This guy pissed me off so much and showed me exactly who he has been for his time at Juve, all in that performance yesterday. It was absolute fucking garbage. Can't trap a ball, can't stay on his feet with minimal fucking physicality coming from a defender. I saw him try to lay off a pass to a guy that was in a position to shoot the fucking ball, and he couldn't shoot it. You know why he couldn't shoot it? Because the pass from 5 feet away ended up at the fucking sideline. This guy has the audacity to pop his fucking collar. Guess what? The ladies of the night that you like to rock with don't care if your collar's fucking popped because you're paying for it anyways, so just pay the bill. Listen, this guy, I was wrong. Fuck out of here. No renewal. Absolutely not. And he holds a team for ransom when he doesn't do shit, okay? And his arms up in the air, his attitude, yelling at everybody else when he's putting out a fucking stinker. I was wrong. The situation, it's scary that you could say goodbye to all 4, have to replace an entire striker core. I will take a 10 million player that I've never heard of before if he shows up and gives me 150 fucking % effort, game in, game out, everything he has, over a guy that pops his collar when he does fuck all and just acts like that attitude. I'm officially done, and I was wrong, and I apologize to everybody. So everybody that DM'd me and everybody that said we should not lose, I'm on your side now. I'm off the train. Fucking goodbye.
Anything else?
Train has left the station.
If anyone was ever the conductor of the Dusan train, it was this guy, right? I've been his advocate for many years. I still think he's been the best striker we've had on this team in the past, 3-4 years. I'm with you, Bert. I was pretty frustrated yesterday. Like some of these, like you're one-on-one in the box, back to the goal. You got to stay on your feet. Simple passes. I'm okay just not renewing, just wiping the slate clean. And everybody knows, here comes Skanga with the Dusan positivity again. But it's time. Yeah, I think it's time. And I was just as frustrated as you yesterday. It's like, man, we need you to step up today. Today's the day. Just, I don't care if you got to start throwing elbows or something, or we need you to be the big dick on the field. And he didn't show up. So yeah, I don't think now if they renewed him for like $4 million a year, but then he's the backup, whatever. But I think a clean break is
guy that pops his collar like that and puts a stinker like that ain't coming for $4 million. This guy believes that he's worthy of the money he's on now. He believes that. He believes that. It's scary. So it's time. Is it time, Paolo?
Who would have thought at the beginning of the year we'd be at this point saying,
look at us now.
We gotta sign McKennie. Without McKennie, we're nothing. Oh, we gotta sign Dusan. He's actually the savior. Like, who would have thought we would be putting everything on these two guys at this point? That's how bad the roster is. So Dusan can go, and we can use the money for someone else or some other people, whoever they are. Ciao. You're not Cantona. Ciao. Put the collar down.
It's time. It's Vader time. Vader was a unit. Vader.
Yes.
Remember Vader, Skanga?
Yes, sir, I do.
It is time. It's scary, but like I said, when you watch a performance like that and you see the same things that you've known from this guy for all those years, he put a reminder in. He ain't turning the corner. I don't think he's turned a page. I think this is the same guy, and the red flags came flying out yesterday. I was wrong. See you later. Juve's going to be in a very, very interesting predicament this summer. A lot of decisions to make. And yeah, Yildiz can fuck off with the pop collar too. He was better in the second half. Not the worst, because the worst belongs to Vlahovic was worse than Yildiz. Yildiz needs to understand that this wing thing, there will be games, there will be moments you could do that, but I don't know what it takes to let this guy understand that, like, you can't be the top money earner and us be giving the ball to Conceição because he's constantly like there and whatever, an option and going at the, like, I need to see the same intensity from him. And if they're going to shut him down to give us Conceição, he needs to go and find spaces. He needs to find spaces and get involved in the game. I brought this comparison up a long time ago on one of the live shows where everybody used to bitch about where Dybala was on the lineup, whether he was inside or was he on the right wing, and I said it doesn't fucking matter. They're like, you can't play 4-3-3 with Dybala out at the right wing, and I'm like, fuck, you can do whatever you want with the guy because he's gonna find himself in the game and he's gonna affect the game. He's gonna impact the game. That's what your key players need to do. That's what star players do.
Do you think the injury is worse than the club's making it to be with Yildiz, or do you just not care?
I'm just done hearing about fucking injuries and guys playing in fucking games when it's one game a week. Like, if he is, why are you even taking a chance on it?
And that's my point. Yeah.
Like, I brought it up and then Omar's like, oh no, it's all good, whatever. I'm like, no, it isn't all fucking good. It isn't all fucking good. I go, Boga's the one guy that he has an argument. If you're talking about a guy in the midfield, like, okay, Locatelli gets injured. We got to change it out. Then you have a major fucking problem because Miretti can't fucking operate it. Cope Miners can't fucking operate it. Matt can't operate it. So then you have a major problem. You're talking about Yildiz trying to play through something when Boga's been doing great. And Boga looked better as an actual winger yesterday.
Did look good.
I can't believe Boga's the new savior. Give him the 10. What the fuck is going on?
Like, this is why, to me, you got a major problem.
For 2 years. He gets in fights with fans outside his own stadium and goes disappearing with injuries for 2 years. He comes to Juve. He's like somebody's uncle. Hey, we got a game tomorrow. We're missing some guys. Can you play? Yeah, my uncle plays. Your uncle shows up and he's doing all this shit and scoring goals.
That was me.
My God.
That was
Boga. We're at Boga now.
Uncle Tony showing up. Uncle Skanga's here.
I got
it just goes to show you, like, they got to sort their shit out. Locatelli, I want to bring this up. This guy fucking just took it from fans, okay? Again, only two people to speak to media, Spalletti, Locatelli. So Locatelli says this. There's been a technical, he's asked obviously about the game and everything, and Spalletti, and he says there's been a technical and tactical improvements since the coach has arrived. It's hard to comment or find positives when you don't reach a target. It's hard to understand why we played such a game. Perhaps it was the pressure. Asked about continuing more on the game before he gets to the protest. He says it's ugly. We ended badly at home. It's hard to comment on such a game. Players were booed full time, the protests, etc. He says it's fair. If we play these types of games, they are justified in protesting. We had a goal. If we don't reach it, it's absolutely fair for them to boo us, jeer us, and protest. He also continues, when Spalletti talked about the pressure, he says there are games that must be won. Even when you play badly and we don't have such a thing, we don't overcome that. It's something you have to improve quickly because there's no time. Those who played here know it. This is the reality. We were not able to cope with it. I think it's evident that if we can't win a decisive game like this, many things didn't go the right way. In defense of Spalletti and putting it all on the players, he says it's not tactical issue when you're late on second balls or you're losing 50-50s, when you misplace passes that you need to be hitting. We needed to show more motivation than they did. It's not technical or tactical. The desire to win the game wasn't there from us. That's alarming, but he took a lot of fucking heat and they're like, oh, this is a sign. I go, he's literally telling everybody, leave the coach alone. It's on us. Mm-hmm. But he took so much heat and I'm like, he literally told the truth. He told the truth. We roasted these guys for so long saying that they're not accountable, that the coach takes all the heat. It's literally straight up facts that he hit you with and took all the onus. We missed the passes. It has fuck all to do with tactics and everything when you show no desire. I don't know what else a captain can do other than just say that. Now look, as I say this, I just mentioned earlier, everybody, I have no attachment to any player on this team. If an offer comes in, they want to sell whatever. But I'm just telling you, if you're making his words the be-all, end-all, and you say he is a symbol, the reality is people right now are using this moment to pick whatever poster boy they want. Whether it's Di Gregorio, whether it's Locatelli, whether some want to go to Kin and Yildiz as being the star man, not doing it. Some pick Vlahovic, some pick McKennie, some pick Conces. Pick your poster boy. It doesn't fucking matter. It all ends you up at the same spot. The team. The fucking team. But I agree wholeheartedly with every single word he said. Now, what we should be doing is seeing who actually feels something from those words in the locker room. Because the guys that don't feel it, that tells me get the fuck out. Because he laid it all out on the line. He questioned your motivations. He questioned your fucking integrity, your professionalism. And he obviously includes himself in there because he never shies away from saying he has to be better. I don't think he had a good game. I don't think he's had a good game the last 3, to be quite honest. It's alarming. But I can't fault him for the words. He spoke the truth, didn't he? Did you guys?
Well, we've been saying it, and fans have been saying it. God, they've been saying it on Twitter. Oh my God, they've been saying all those words, and now the captain comes out. And they're like, "Oh, look at this asshole! Look at this guy. He does it." Well, he's admitting what you just saw.
Yeah,
and he's taking responsibility for it, and
he's
that's
called
good.
out the entire team on showing exactly what they did, which was lack of drive. We said it earlier. I think we were all unanimous. Did it feel like Champions League was on the line for Juve?
No.
Absolutely not.
Game in November for them.
Yeah. It felt... Whatever. It may as well have been a preseason, the way some guys were going in on 50-50 challenges.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like people are going to pick their poster boys no matter what. Pick whoever you want. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. This team, the build. That's why the guys at the top got to get it right. And I'm very concerned going into this summer about what the plan's going to be now without Champions League. It's nasty. Juve, the reality is Juve's working very tight. Like they're just working very tight. And when you're taking stabs on players and they fail, there's little wiggle room there. There's little wiggle room there. And when you have 40 to 60 million signings that keep coming in here and are faltering, and that brings me back to that whole pressure thing. Like, it makes me wonder. The biggest signing this fucking team can make is a sports psychiatrist. Because when you have this many guys that come in that just falter, like, what's the difference here at Juve from the other big clubs or that have rich history and pressure that the guys come in and they deliver? It's like, what is the difference that A 40 million signing, not even like an 80 million, can't succeed at Juve. Like, what is it? What is it with a freebie coming in here that he can't thrive or succeed or look anything like he did the season prior?
Well, you see,
because I'm not buying into this strength of league thing. Serie A is weak as shit.
Yeah, they really dropped the ball yesterday with 5 games starting at noon. That was a terrible. Anyway, that's Serie A. What do you want? It happens in other sports. You see, like, in hockey here in Toronto with the Maple Leafs, there's a lot of like local media pressure, which I think gets the players. But at the end of the day, man, you still got to perform. Like, I'm not making an excuse for them. I'm just saying that's some of the excuse that can be made, that there's not as much pressure at other clubs to perform based on like media day in and day out pressure. But I don't really care. That's your job. You got to perform. You got to work past all that and deliver.
Yeah.
You doing that yesterday.
It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know with this team anymore. I'm second guessing everything, and everything needs to be looked at. Every single person needs to be valued. We'll see what they do in the summer. We will get to some Storm the Barn here.
Let's hit some.
Milan draw was like draw versus Monaco in Champions League. In good form, settled for a stupid, important not to lose draw, and then all momentum went down the drain.
That team isn't good.
There's a lot of games that I would point to before I get to a Milan 0-0 draw. A lot of games. Guys, we're like 24, 25 points pissed away this season.
It's a lot.
You want to get early in the season with your Verona draw. We had Spalletti, a shocker of no striker in Napoli. That game was weird and it played out that way. But whatever, let's not even count that one. You have the Lazio. Certain games you lost even. So Locatelli said something. He said, we don't have the ability to win in the matches where our performances are ugly. Remember what we used to say about the Juve of old and the successful Juve sides? They found a way to get it done even when they were on an off day. This team doesn't have the ability to do that. Why? For me, everybody used to call it's the coach is getting saved by individual brilliance or whatever. Yeah, but that's why you have those guys. That's what your star power does. It puts a team on its back and pulls you through. We don't have that ability because you don't have the star players to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps coming back to the same shortcomings for me on the roster, right? But he was right in saying that. And if you go to certain matches throughout this season, there's games where we played ugly. We didn't even take the draw, you guys. We lost.
Mm-hmm.
There's games we played ugly. We couldn't even for a Juventus side to not be able to overcome a 1-goal deficit to a relegation side is actually crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We haven't had the midfield all season. We have not had the midfield all season. We forfeited that part of the game all year. We don't have the players. We need 2 really good players. Drop this pivot bullshit and get 2 players, because Loca wants to play as the 5th defenseman. He wants to sit back there and protect. You need 2 players to run the middle because no one else is good enough. And no one.
Well, I think that comes down to the fact that these guys, Bremer sure as fuck can't, and Kelly freezes up on the fucking ball. He has to. I don't think the pivot's a problem. I think this hybrid bullshit in you have to have McKennie out there and no true 10 is actually killing you more. Because we've dominated a lot of games. We've had games where we've had 70+% possession, 25 odd opportunities, and just you come away sometimes with a loss. Because these guys aren't putting the ball in the back of the net. There's no final third like sharpness or execution. Like there's a lot of other things. Like I don't know, man. Like
you need like a Silva or a Griezmann or somebody in the middle to help kind of take it over. I think Loca's fine, and if he wants to sit back and kind of manage from behind and move up when he's ready, that's fine. but you have to own the middle with, like you said, experience, star power, whatever it is, to help get the other guys on track. Because we have all this possession, all these guys standing around the box doing fuck all, missing the net.
What I
Ability.
see a lot of is this fucking width. This width to our game. We barely get the ball in the actual opposition's box unless one of those players beats like the double team to get inside the area. You have very little opportunities to draw PKs. Free kicks centrally? No, because you're playing your game to width. Connection with the striker? Very fucking little. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was the first time in a long time we actually did start in the second half working through that central area to the middle and working off Vlahovic. Obviously, not much coming from it, but Yildiz in the middle. There's just such odd spacing to this team that we take away certain luxuries. You can't draw PKs. You can't draw free kicks. You have nobody to take fucking free kicks. The list of things we lack is long. It's fucking long. Oh, yeah. And this is why I don't think you can wipe the slate clean for Spalletti and say he has no part to play in it. Of course he does. His game has been this fucking width. Yildiz one side out here. Chico fucking way out there. Do you guys think it was coincidence that Yildiz was ripping for Tudor when he played centrally? It was a 3-4-2-1. Same as fucking Spalletti plays, but the difference is Spalletti's 3-4-2-1 is more of a 3-4-3, and those guys are fucking way out here. I don't know, man. Be a coach, not a friend. Tell Yildiz, you're a 10, man. You're a fucking 10.
He doesn't want to play the 10.
Well, he's then fucking pop the collar and hang out on the sideline and look pretty.
They shoved him in the middle at the middle of the season. We were glad to see him in the middle. He was surrounded by yellow shirts going like this, trying to get the ball. Like, give me the ball, give me the ball. No one wanted to give him the ball. They were afraid they were going to hit one of the pylons that were around him. So he stood there complaining he wasn't getting the ball, and I don't blame him. But he doesn't want to play in the middle. And he gets hacked. In that game, he got hacked 3 times, and no one went running up and got in the face of the guys who were hacking him. They would just take him down, get the free kick, take him down. If Chico and Yildiz want to get little chairs, sit on the sideline and just do what they feel like doing, which is not pass and wait for their one chance to shoot, and we have no one in the middle, we're going to end up 6th place. Good luck with that.
Yildiz has to fucking take over the 10. He has to. And he has to also learn how to fucking take dead balls. He needs to learn how to fucking take dead balls. And as a coach, you should have read this situation. That's where you need to be. He needs to understand it's left to right from the edge of the box on both sides. You take more hacks out on the fucking sideline because the guy could play right on your fucking back. Yildiz ends up taking more hacks out on the sideline because he's got nowhere to go but backwards when he collects the ball. And
that's how you get to him. You just hack him. You hack him until the ref gives you a card.
Painful to watch, but you're ruling out the best player on this team right now. It's Kenan Yildiz, and you're ruling him out, and you're allowing him to be ruled out, and he needs to understand that he's also allowing himself to be ruled out. You can't go through matches where this guy gets less than fucking 20 touches in a half of football.
That's a problem. That's a big problem.
It's a major problem. It's a major problem. He should never leave a half like he has in certain instances with like 13 touches. And half of those going backwards against the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and speak of the devil, Pierre coming in here. Why does Yildiz suck lately? Injured. He's inconsistent. He's saving himself for the World Cup for all of the above. Why do you think the drop-off over the last like 7-8 matches? Guys?
I think it's a combination of one and him just being marked out of the game. I think you're right, Berto. We should have him as a 10, but Paulo's right too. He gets in there, he gets surrounded, and that's just not his game. He needs to develop that, but I don't think that's his game at the moment. Being a 10, being able to, work in a phone booth to beat guys.
He can do it on his header. Did you see him try and head the ball at the net? He's not even used to being in the box, like in the center. It's like he doesn't know what to do.
He's
I think
big.
Yildiz is great.
Yeah.
But my answer to that question is he sits on the sideline because that's where he's comfortable. That's where, when he was younger, he had success. That's where he feels like he's been productive at Juve, and he doesn't want to go anywhere outside of his safe zone. He gets butchered like hell. And then when you look at the 70th minute yesterday, he's desperately trying to drag himself to the top of the box at the corner and take a shot. His shot's weak. He had nothing left in the tank. The guy was spent. He's wasting himself away on the side, and it's rough.
I want to add something that Pierre doesn't actually have in here, and I'm going to stick to it. It's the way we play. I also think the fact that the fullback on Yildiz's side inverts, and mainly because he's always glued to the fucking sideline, doesn't actually help him. Because if we played it straight up and you had a fullback that just overlapped him, forced him inside, even just a bit, we're not even talking about playing as a fucking 10. Play as a standard winger, but just fucking give that fullback the opportunity to overlap you. You get yourself in a position where you have to beat one less guy and you could shoot the ball. I think a lot of it has to do with the left side, involving Thuram and Cambiasso as well. I really do. There's not a whole lot of attacking support coming from Khéphren Thuram to take bodies away or create more space or anything. And Cambiasso's adding to the midfield congestion, and it's keeping Yildiz with fucking miles of work to do before he can actually set somebody up or score. So over and above battling through knee inflammation, inconsistency, saving himself for World Cup, I sure as fuck hope not, okay?
Yeah, hope that's not the case.
So I'm going to wipe that one out clear because I think he's a good, honest kid, and I would never say that he's not putting maximum effort forward for Juve. I don't even want to think about that. I'm going to say a lot of it has to do with our game, how we play, and just the connection on that left side being disjointed.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
And honestly, Thuram hasn't found his spot yet, has he? Where do you put this guy?
Okay.
If you're going
to take a bunch more Storm the Lawrence, I got a roll.
Okay.
But if you guys are going
great
to take
stuff.
a bunch more,
yeah, we'll rock a few more before we sign out.
Right, great
Always
show.
a pleasure.
Hey, everybody, get outside, touch some grass, do some yard work. All right? It's not all that bad.
All right.
Set the tone.
And then there were two. All right. Let's keep it rolling here. Is it crazy to say that having a smaller budget might be a blessing in disguise? Our best deals in recent years have been the smart cheap buys such as Kalulu, Thuram. Our splashes always flop. It's hard to say blessing in disguise when we talked about how tight Juve's actually operating cost-wise. It's hard to say that it's a blessing in disguise because you really do need the revenue. Your business model, like, they need to find sustainability regardless, right? They're battling this damaged appeal. They're battling a lot of things. A smaller budget? I mean, here's what I will say this. If we're talking about star power lacking and you're trying to impose these guys by doing smaller deals, are you still going to be able to improve the team as much as you need to? You have to pretty much hit. Like Kalulu, as good as he's been, is he a star player? Thuram is not a star player. So the cheap deals, like, they may have worked because, you know, they just haven't completely tanked or bombed, but they're not pushing the needle, so to speak. Kalulu's a big part of, I think he's been the best at the back steady throughout the season, but he's not a star player. So I find it hard to believe if you just said that every piece of business they're going to do is 18 million like Kalulu, 20 million, that you push the needle. It's just a different gamble. It's tough.
Yeah, I think low budgets would not help us right now. We've got a big roster. We've got a lot of people who have to move. We need quality and experience. We need two in the middle, I think. We need money. We need money to deal with what we've got. A small budget won't help right now. We got lucky with Boga. That was just pure luck. Kalulu's been great.
Kalulu's
Awesome.
been a fantastic sign.
Not panning out. So we might hit one of these now and then, but
I have a storm the barn that actually came from the Army chat yesterday, and it's in regards to Kalulu, and it's, does anybody have any concerns that we might fall into the same trap that we did with Alexandro, not selling him for 60 million when we had the opportunity if a strong offer comes in this summer? Gio says sell Kalulu. Here's my thing. I just said it's scary because I don't think the team's in a position. Like when you talk about Alexandro, if we look back to that time, Paulo, we'd probably both agree the team was in a much stronger state. So I felt comfortable in saying goodbye for 60 million to Chelsea. And I said, let's take that deal. Let's cash in. Right now, I don't know if I feel that level of comfort in saying goodbye to Kalulu.
No. And that's part of the problem when people say get rid of all of them. I don't want a garage sale where people are walking by like the Inters and other people saying, yeah, I'll give you 40 for Yildiz. Oh yeah, I'll give you 15 for Kalulu. Oh yeah, so you're going to come and try and take our best players, the few that we have that we can maybe continue to build with, and give us nothing for them. And then also, folks, when you sell players, what do you do with the money? Where does it go and what does it get you? So just selling everybody is not realistic. And what's left, money and players, isn't enough. So we're in a really tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is what's on the backside too, just like Paulo mentioned. Like it's right now, if you want to compare situations from Sandro to Kalulu, the team was in a way stronger state to make that, to pull that trigger on that deal back then than we are now. If you say goodbye to a key player right now, like I said, it can't be, what are we getting for him? We'll deal with the replacement after. No, you need to lock in on the replacement. Is it at least, at bare minimum, equal? Is it at least equal, if not an improvement? You got to look at that. For me, Kalulu is definitely not one on the radar to say goodbye to. Definitely not. It would be Cambiasso before him. I would agree with this one. I would definitely move Cambiasso before I did Kalulu.
My storm in the barn for you, Bert, would be how many starting players do you think we need to have a better roster next year? And in what position? How many and in what position to replace what we have as our really only starting 11? This
is probably going to be to nobody's surprise, but 5. 5. You need a starting goalkeeper that you could trust, that's reliable, and I would hope has experience. You need another strong center back. Need another strong center back. You need a proper fullback on the left side, a proper left fullback for me. You need a midfielder that's bare minimum equal to Locatelli, if not better. You need a striker. You got half a starting 11 that you need to sort out. Half a starting 11. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you need to say goodbye to like everybody in there, because if some of these guys drop to bench options, that's actually okay. Yeah. If you can swing a deal that sees Cambiasso remain and he becomes a bench, I'm good with that. Thuram working from the bench to grow and like figure it out. Have a mentor to kind of, hey, let me show you. That's good. But that's, for me, 5. You need 5. Do you agree? Do you think it's less? Do you think it's more?
No, I agree. I think it could be 6 because I was willing to live with Cambiasso on the left side if it got me another midfielder, an attacking one. So someone who can complement Loka, step in for Loka when Loka's, if he's injured or needs a break, whatever, playing multiple
Actually, you're
competitions,
right.
whatever.
A 10. So 6.
Yeah, so I would love 2 in the middle, and I would settle for 5 and let Cambiasso have that left spot. But to your point, Thuram coming off the bench with 15 minutes left to flex and maybe say, oh, Thuram, just go up in the box and attack. Use your head. Go and get in there and rough it up. Cambiasso, you're going to take the left side today. You're going to start there. We're in Europa League or whatever it is. So, yeah, I think we need 6, and I'd love to have a better bench. But, yeah, and that's our starting. Our starting lineup is so weak, and we wonder why we're battling for 6th or 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
We've never been good enough this year, and that's the thing that hurts.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jesus.
It is what it is.
Yeah. TK Goria,
And
the
these
worst
other
starting
teams, Bert,
keeper
these other
in
teams are winning.
Juventus history. The worst starting keeper in Juve's history. It's tough to... Fuck. Well, you've had Buffon for practically almost my entire tenure of watching them, including Peruzzi.
Peruzzi was
before
pretty
that.
good.
Peruzzi was solid.
Tech was okay.
What's his name? Sucked for us, Van der Sar, but better than Di Gregorio.
Yeah, and he proved that he was a solid goalie, whether we had a good run with him or not.
Yeah.
So I guess yes.
Yeah, probably.
Unless somebody in 1920 was really bad. Someone back in 1933 or whatever was bad. I don't know, but
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Was the decision against going all in for Lord Mandragora a mistake? How many hundreds of millions do you think we should have paid for him if we were to buy Lord Mandragora? Man, that guy scored again against us. That was a hell of a shot. That was one hell of a shot. Nice goal. Fuck Mandragora. Ayub, Locatelli hater here. You were saying something a little over a month ago. Yeah, so and I also said something today that you're obviously picking a poster boy for it. Good on you. Whatever helps people sleep at night to get over the pain and misery. All good. I definitely don't put it down to Loka. I still stand firm on that. Are the last 5 years?
So, Bert, on Loka, did you see when he made that nice tackle? It was from behind, but it was through the guy's legs, got the ball. He got called for it, and he went on the ground slamming his fists like a child. I feel bad for Loka because he's trying to stay even, right, and do the job and be respectful. The guy's hurting, man.
Yeah.
Poor Loka. Yeah. Captain's hurting, man.
You know what, though? Like, look at that situation, though, and the level of give a fucks, and look at the goal McKennie scored, and 0 give a fucks about complaining or fighting for it or lobbying or saying anything, raising a fuss. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's night and day. But again, poster boys, pick them. I don't give a fuck about it. Pick whoever you want as a poster boy. You could pick Toto the bus driver too. It's all his fault. He's playing the wrong music pregame. It's Toto the bus driver. Fuck's sakes. Stop playing the Jonas Brothers. Get these guys amped up. Come on. Last 5 years. The worst 5-year period in our history when all things are considered. If so, summarize why in one sentence. Misled. Misled. It starts at the top. It starts at the top. We're misled and it's been scattered. Somebody raised a good question. I was talking to Giratina actually, and he asked me like about the feelings during the banter era, like coming out of 06 and that nonsense. Because obviously we were finishing 7th, you know, a lot of change, a lot of turnover in terms of roster, like trying to get things right. What were the vibes from that point till now? And you have a comment here about post Gacciopoli was actually worse than this era. The vibes were different. And maybe it was because of the guys that stuck around that were still there. Nedved until 2009. Del Piero, obviously, till 2012. Chiellini. coming through it, Marquisio coming through it, Buffon still being through it. The vibes were different. The work was there. You had more patience because I feel like the situation, we were all united in the nonsense that happened in 2006. So it's like the team had this patience around it because we saw what a team we created. And it was like, man, we got to go deal with this and get it back in. Now it's like kind of our own undoing. From 9 years straight, a decade of dominance, to looking like we have no idea who we are. And it's like we've done this to ourselves. And I think that's the major difference in the feelings around the fans. How would you look at both eras?
I think it's like what you said. I think we were hard done by. That was an era where a lot of people were doing a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow we got the trophy and sent down. And I think it was Buffon who said, well, I've never won Serie B. So let's win it. And we came back because we were healing, repairing, raising ourselves from the ashes, showing that we would be sent down, we would win, we would be deducted points, still win, come back up and rebuild ourselves in spite of everyone. This time, so I think there was a certain pride and hope always there because we were still Juve. Now it feels like, I think you got it in one word, misled. And it felt a bit of neglect. It feels like this has kind of crept up and slowly gotten really worse. And now I feel like I'm looking around going, what do we got? What are we going to do with this?
Yeah.
I think it's worse right now. I think it is the worst 5 years.
I think it is worse. I think this comment highlights a lot of it. And we go back to those players that were a part of that specific era. We can't compare the players we had, the heart, the fight that we had with this current, and he puts it as clown show. I agree wholeheartedly. That's why you had more leeway there. There are games against certain opponents through that banter that we pulled magnificent performances through, and we won brilliant games, and this team would not be capable because they're losing to lesser sides. Like, that team fought, at least. They kept, and again, you go to culture, to standards. They knew what they had as far as a team goes, as far as roster, as far as gaps. But they all went in and said, we're going to make up for it by giving everything we have every single second and every single minute. The results, yeah, you had 7th place finishes, and some in the chat I've seen have said, that's obviously worse. Now you're 5th, 6th. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that necessarily, because there was this line being held by those guys. Hey, we must always play to win. And accepting this is a failure. We have failed. We have to get back at it. We have to fight to get back to the top. It always has to be going to the top. And they showed it on the pitch that the desire was there. There's too many soulless performances over the past 5-6 years for me to say that it's actually worse or better, than that banter era. I would probably pick those groups that went out there and fought tooth and nail with everything they had. That's how I feel about it anyways. I had a friend named Aldo that used to put juice in his cereal, so I told him, that's Grimaldo. That's Grim, Aldo. Adam, I know it's your birthday, bro, so I'm going to not give you a red. We'll just go yellow on this one, okay? Because it's your birthday. All right? I did expect better on your birthday, though. Come on, man. Come on. Why do proven strikers lose their consistency at Juve? Dusan is a top talent, but has the mentality of a 5-year-old and can't handle pressure. The Iceman melted the second he arrived in Italy. Well, you can ask the same, not just of strikers, but I think I mentioned it earlier on the show, right? Just signings in general and players that we just don't seem to hit on. But if you want to go proven strikers, who was the top guy? It was Ronaldo into like Vlahovic. He kept doing his job. I mean, he kept doing his job. He kept bagging like crazy. Higuain was fucking fantastic for Juve. You know, where along the lines has this gone on? It probably just the players, probably just them on their own accord of a consistency. But at some point, like, do we look in house as far as what's going on behind the scenes? Like I said, we can't speak to it, right, Paulo? It's like, I don't know why these guys do. Is it too much pressure? Is it too much pressure that these guys can't get it together? But I'd hate to think about lowering the pressure because I associate pressure with standards. Right? I do anyways. Do you?
Yeah, we haven't got a lot of quality. And relying on guys who get the shirt and think, okay, well, I guess I'm pretty good. I mean, they bought me. They've given me the job. They've given me the shirt. Then they go out there and they're like, shit, it's not working. Those guys at Fiorentina were playing for their jobs and for their desire to come out with something. These teams that we lose to, these crappy teams that for some reason we seem to have a problem getting any points against, they're playing for their jobs. They're playing because they want to try and show that they're worthy. Roma's playing because it sees the Champions League as this treasure that they want to be a part of next year. This aspirational gift to themselves and the fans, something they've earned. Where I was looking at it last night, making my notes, and I'm like, I'm mad about the money. I'm mad I'm mad that we're not going to get the 80 million, whatever it is, because I expect to be in the Champions League, but we're playing for, the money's going out the window. But no, the other people are playing because they care. That guy Harrison, when he came on, he changed the game a bit. There's a guy you could have gotten for nothing from Leeds, and I watched the PL, so I've seen this guy play at Leeds, run around up and down like a crazy guy, making things happen. He comes on and he has a pretty good game. I'm not saying we need a Harrison, but these are other players who are playing for their jobs. And our guys I don't know what they're doing. They're not good enough. They have the shirt. They think, because I got the shirt, I must be pretty good. And they're not getting anything done.
You're starting to get into where I was going to go with it. And you're kind of where my sentiments are, that it's too cushy. It's Club Med at Juve. So when people say too much pressure, etc.,
it's like, I've arrived.
I don't believe it. I think it's too easy for them. Life's too good. You know what? No, we're going to this is your new change room for a bit. Like, fucking rough it a bit. Rough it up a bit. Take away some of the extra amenities and whatnot. It's too cushy. They're too comfortable. You know? It's like that classic Rocky 3 where he faces Clubber Lang, and Clubber Lang's training in this dungeon, just like in his... It looks like a boiler room, okay? And Rocky's got the nice gym. They're taking photos of him. You know, it's like our players. They're doing TikToks, the creator lab at training, while these guys are fucking going nuts, getting ready to go to war. And we're worried about how our players like their toast or what they think of the new Drake album. Like, who gives a shit? You know, they have it too good, too cushy. We make something out of nobodies. What have you achieved to get the attention to all this? They need to bring it down. They haven't achieved anything. So for me, I think it's too cushy for them. I think it's way too cushy for them. And they need to dial it back. And part of it too, on the field. And part of it too goes into the business. And again, I'm going right back to the office, because you set that tone. Because when guys come in and don't deliver, and you're looking at, obviously it's hard to deny the financials about it, but you're letting that also dictate you not maintaining your standards. Because you're just keeping a guy while we can't get what we need to say the goodbye or whatnot. Get creative. Find a swap. Find a swap, push for a swap move. You can't find a swap move, guess what? Take an L. You're going to take a bigger L in missing Champions League because you kept a guy that you already saw didn't deliver. And you've let him overstay his welcome and probably bring down the entire level. So, short-term loss or long-term loss and destabilizing any type of standards you could possibly try to set. That's why I've always said, like, you have to fucking cut the cord. Sooner or later, Exor has to, and I get it. Everyone wants to go to the 900 million over all these years, etc. But could it have been less if you took the L's in maintaining a standard and being like, yeah, you know what? You just didn't deliver. This is brutal. Like, goodbye. Mm-hmm. Take a short-term loss, make it back in the long run because you haven't just kept a guy for the sake of. It's things I think about.
Consequence. You look at a guy who doesn't have that problem, and that's Boga. I joke like he's like the uncle who shows up at your pickup game, and you're like, oh, thank God, so-and-so brought his uncle, and he's doing all this shit. You're like, wow, this guy's pretty good. There's a guy who they took off the trash heap. I mean, from an alley. They took this guy from Nice from a back alley, and he is so grateful. And when he's running down that field yesterday alone, I don't know where the other 10 guys were. He's taking on guys because he's got nowhere to go with the ball. There's no one to give it to. He's on his own running with the ball because he thinks, I have to do something. I have to find a way to do something. This guy from the garbage heap.
Yeah.
You need 11 Bogas if that's the case.
Yeah, I see Mitch saying at least Berto can laugh. I haven't laughed since yesterday. Hey, man. Learned a while now. It's been 5-6 years of turmoil. You can't let these guys don't let these guys ruin your mental state. That's the thing. That's why we're all here. That's why we're all here together. Hash it out. Let it out. Jeez. We're not in power. We're not in control. We just share our opinions. We've got this one. We don't have a keeper. We don't have a proper left back, no ball-playing center back, no creative midfielder, and no striker.
That's our list.
Our depth is invisible. What do you expect?
That's our list.
That was literally our list, Sikoko.
Yeah,
literally.
Good call. That's our list.
And what do you expect from Spalletti? No, I believe Spalletti has shortcomings still, but nowhere to the degree of saying goodbye. Nowhere to the degree of saying goodbye in this thing. But I mean, 9 games, 9 goals. The attack kind of went weak. There was no real adjustments. You know, Yildiz going silent is a big one for me, no matter what it is. So I think there's things could have been done better. And I also still say, we talk about no keeper. You had 7 clean sheets through those 9 games where your attack wasn't putting the ball in the back of the net. We could have been out of this thing long before this. Like, we could have been out of this thing long before this, the way our attack is playing. And this is my thing. Spalletti is kind of the guy pushing for the pressure, the attack, the goals. It went quiet for him there. And those clean sheets masked it. So it's like, you know, but again, you can't get rid of them. You just can't. There has to be some stability and you have to work with him. And if Comolli has issues with him or whatnot, I know exactly who I'm picking. And it's fucking Spalletti. 100%. After what I saw with Comolli. And the coaching situation is one of the fiascos. Why? This guy pushed aside Tudor immediately, made him bottom of the barrel. Might as well have been under the dirt. Okay? Went on the chase for Conte, got made look like a fool by Gasperini, etc., only to fall back to the guy that he pushed aside and made seem like last resort. Took his sweet-ass time losing targets left, right, and center through the Mercato to end up with Openda at 42. This guy's...
At the 11th hour, too.
Yeah, this guy is done for me. Like, it's done. If you... And now...
Comolli's in trouble.
And now Chiellini... was the one behind Spalletti and is working with Spalletti, and you have an issue with Spalletti, buddy, you should have issues with nobody, Comolli. You should zip your lips right now and be like, yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, I'm down. I'm taking my laptop, shutting down Excel for the next little bit. What do you guys think? You know, Giorgione, what do you think? Like, that's what he should be doing. This
Spalletti's made he's made no effort to hide his feelings about what players he thinks he has and doesn't have. He's made no effort to hide that the squad isn't good enough. And he's put guys out there to say, I put them out there. That's what you gave me. That's the result. And when he says, I'm going to talk to Elkann this week, whatever, what's that conversation like? You know, Spalletti's going towards Elkann's office and you got Comolli there with his laptop. Hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to go talk to Elkann. What do you mean? I'm going to go talk to Elkann. About what? Oh, I'm going to go talk to him. Don't worry about it. What do you mean don't worry about it? Can I come? No, I'm going to go talk to Elkann. Okay. Like, what's that conversation, right?
You know, here's the thing, and this is another reason why Spalletti should be remaining at Juventus, is because he has made it perfectly clear who needs to go.
Well, he's not fucking around.
No, and he's made it perfectly clear. He also doubled down yesterday in saying it's clear from a player's perspective what we need and what we're lacking. And I'm with him wholeheartedly. I didn't want Spalletti. It would be easy for me right now to say, fuck you, out the door, and I'm not there. Because he's highlighted exactly the shortcomings on this team. You have to work with him. You have to. You have to. You don't start over completely.
But it doesn't mean we bring in all the old Italian guard. I mean, from a player perspective. Like, don't start. I want to have an embargo on other Italian teams. I want us not to trade with any of them. I do not want to give any of them money. And I don't want old Italian players to all of a sudden come in and solve our problem. So I don't know what the answer is, but Comolli's definitely got a job in his hands.
Yeah. I was not on this beat, but I am an all Agnelli back now, Mitch. And I think he's saying that's for me. Sorry, brother, that because I had used to say that I think I would take Agnelli back immediately. Man, this game. It's just, it's wild where we're at. We'll try machine gun a few here. Any reset that doesn't involve Ferrero is wrong. You can say what you want about Comolli and whatnot, but he's the biggest problem. Ferraro is one. Again, Comolli should leave as well. I couldn't care less if they say goodbye. If you were against the one thing that's highlighted everything wrong with us, which is Spalletti, and you're having issues with it, I think you should go. Finally, you guys have opened your eyes about Dusan. He's ass and will always be ass. Oh, man. I said I was wrong. I know this is unpopular. I'm probably the only person thinking this. We need a Casemiro free from United. Scores and has Grinta. What do you think about Casemiro? A lot of fans actually think we should make that move.
I know him quite well from watching him. This year he lost weight, contract year, played really well, is not very fast. He's defensive, but he can score with his head, so he can do things. He's not cheap. So he's making, I think at Man U, he's making something like 300,000.
How old's Casemiro now? 33, 4?
No, I think he's only 30, yeah, maybe 30.
30?
He's not young. 29, 31, I'm guessing, something like that.
That's younger than I thought he'd be.
He's not fast. So you need guys
he's
to
34.
Work with him.
He's 34.
Okay. You need guys to work with him and to do some running for him because he'll get caught out of position if he's up too high. If he sits back, he'll have Locatelli next to him. So interesting player, but I don't think he solves our problem.
Yeah, I don't know if the money down on that's going to be...
He's not cheap.
Pushing the needle, yeah.
He's going to be like 300,000 probably. That's pounds. So whatever that is in euros.
Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I think we should bring back Dybala. Even if it's
I
for
thought
depth,
that
he knows what
yesterday.
it takes to win.
I thought that yesterday, but he can't stay healthy, can he?
He can't. Oh man, Dybala back. No returns. Maybe Agnelli. That's the only one. That's the only one. I know a free agent that is an elite, experienced winner that is used to the league and can play as a creator in front of the midfield. Pretty sure he'd die for us as well. Bring back La Jolla. Everyone's on the bring back Dybala train. Holy smokes. Oh, man. Hypotheticals. Spalletti resigned. Conte and Allegri sacked. Who'd you hire?
I don't want any of them.
Neither. If Spalletti leaves us, Conte and Allegri get sacked. Neither.
I don't know. Put that guy.
Conte became dead to me after last summer, everybody, and I stand firm behind that. Dead to me after that. See you later.
We can't afford him anyway. He'll be a nightmare.
What would you rather win next season, Serie A or Europa League? Serie A.
Have we won a Europa League?
What's that?
Have we been in the Europa League before, as we now know it? Will this be our first time?
When we dropped into it, we lost in the semis to, who was it? Was it Valencia? I think Valencia we lost in the semis, and they went on to win it, I think. Was the last time we were in there?
Well, can't you do both? I don't think we have the team to win Serie A, but we could win the Europa, and it guarantees us a Champions League spot.
Ooh, look at Frankie here. You need to get this crop of youth players up for the next match. Give me your final words to them pre-match. Chat, fire away. What are your... Or it was Sevilla. Thank you, Sevilla. Give me your final words to them pre-match.
Gosh.
You're facing Torino in their house. Derby della Molla. And it's out of your hands. Don't fuck up. Gio with the don't fuck up. I don't think there's much you could say after this. I mean, it's your last opportunity of this season to show what you have, not just as individuals, but as a group. You put in you laid an absolute egg in a crucial matchup. It's still not dead in the water for you. This one's your last shot for the season to play with everything you have, every ounce of pride, leave 150% out there, and I'm sure you'll get the result that you need. And then we'll see where the chips fall. But this one is your last shot to show what you guys are actually made of. It's your last shot to do so. That's all you can really say to these guys. What can you say? Never mind the history of Juve. Never mind where you're at. And for yourselves as individuals. Do you like hearing people speak the way they have about this group, this team, you guys? Don't worry about the players of the past. Don't worry about all that. They're not in here right now. It's you guys. Do you care? As a man, do you fucking care? Show us. That's why you're taking so much fucking heat. Show that you fucking care. Do you believe you're better than the guys you're losing to? Show us. Because you haven't been. That's all you can fucking say to this group. There's nothing left to say. You guys are like, I don't understand who you guys think you are or what you think you've accomplished. The truth is you've accomplished fuck all. So show everybody what you're made of. Show everybody what you're capable of. This coach has believed in you. Spalletti's believed in you. He's spouted out words. There was a point he was talking about title when we were 6 points out from the top. You fucking crumbled. There's nothing left to say, lads.
I'd say last week, people around the world were watching you. Juve fans around the world were watching. Families showed up with their children. Maybe their most exciting day of their lives. Maybe the only game they'll see. All the Juventini invested their hearts, their money, and their souls in watching and cheering for you. You fucking owe them. Go out there and win, or don't come back. You owe them. Go pay up. You owe them.
And that's why when matches and shit, like this has been 5-6 years of shit going on with Elkann, you know, overlooking things and running things. And it's like, or let's even put it aside from him, Ferrero Scanavino, and shit goes down and you have these soulless games, whatever. And it's like, fuck, man, do you guys understand how many fans you have? Do you understand how much money some of these families, their hard-earned dollars, go into traveling to come and watch you guys play at Juventus in this stadium? Do you understand how much it cost them? And they come and then you put out shit like that where it looks like you couldn't even care less? It's beyond embarrassing. It's unacceptable, and it should never be the fucking case. And that's why I say, through all this time, cords need to get cut. And you just can't let guys scathe by at Juventus anymore, even if it means taking short-term deficit and losses. Fuck it.
Consequence.
Yes. You make 6-something billion annually through Exor in revenue, whatever. I don't want to just hear because we didn't hit an objective, you got to spend money. No, fucking hold this team accountable and to standards and stop letting guys scathe by. You come in, you fail. Edgar David said, at Juve, you must win. And if you don't, pack your fucking bags. There you go. And on that note, we must end there. So, win or pack your fucking bags. We got one last shot to do it, and we need help. Hey, 15% chance from 3rd to 6th. 75% chance in Champions League to 15 now. Go and take care of business in that last damn game, okay? Just finish off strong and just see what happens, and then it's up to the office. But heads rolling, some heads need to be rolled for sure. Some stability needs to remain. And I'm going to stand firm. Get me the right president in now. Now. Elkann, hand over the keys to the house and move out. Speaking of packing bags, pack your bags, buddy. Go back to being the guy in the background. I'm not questioning love and intent. It ain't for you, man. It ain't for you to organize and run and call the shots. You're out of your element, man. So again, you can love it. It doesn't mean you're right for it and you're doing the right things. And if you
let
truly
someone else
love
take
it,
that burden. Let someone else take that burden for you.
Yeah. And if you truly love it, look at what's happening. Stop the bleeding if you truly love Juventus. Bring in the right damn president. On that note, everybody, hey, venting session done. I hope you all I feel better. Paolo, I hope you feel better. I actually feel better. We let a lot out.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out there.
It is what it
That's
is.
all
Let's
we can
go.
do. Yeah.
Let's go.
From here on out, let's see what decisions are made, what happens. And again, if it's Agnelli time, we'll see. We'll see, everybody. But I'll keep you in the loop on the news as well in the build-up. We got one match to go. We're still going to have a lot of fun. We're still going to have our kit giveaways, okay? Mm-hmm. And we're going to have fun through the World Cup. I told you we were going to do that. We're going to do the ride or die competition we always do through major tournaments, okay? You pick your panel member. We randomize the nations, and then you see what clubs you get, what nations. The winner, well, you'll be entered. So whoever picks Paolo, whoever picks Berto, if one of our nations wins it, then you're entered in a kit giveaway of your choice. Any kit, national, club, and I'll probably be doing some watch-alongs through the World Cup, and we'll have live shows still, okay, as the season looks to wrap up. Season didn't go the way we wanted. It could still end with the bare minimum objective, You just never know. We got to take care of business in that last one, all right? So we'll be
We'll
together in the build-up. Let's see.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you
No
for
matter
your time.
what, it's fino alla fine. Forza Juve. That's not optional, okay?
Mhm.
Let's hope that they do the right decisions, make the right calls, and strengthen us next season, okay? For now, one last finale. Give it everything you have, lads. Okay? Everything you have. Ciao tutti. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, okay? Well, Monday for most. Long weekend over here. But enjoy the day. We'll talk to you real soon. Ciao, ciao.